Ethan Klein has been ramping up his lawsuits, openly saying that it's only a matter of time before he hits all of his targets and that he has a lot more planned. Recently, he has gone after a Twitter user named Kween in Yellow, otherwise known as Gato Fumador, alleging that they are a snarker who defames him, and Ethan made multiple Instagram stories going over it, even hinting that he found out the Twitter user's real name. As well as Dan Saltman, sponsor of the H3 podcast, going back and forth with Gato on Twitter, telling him that they know he is a 37-year-old man who lives in a basement that's painted yellow, and that litigation and being exposed will be coming soon. Dan justifies this by saying he is a and tried to dox him first, so this is retaliatory. Some people react to this by saying that this is a good thing, and of course people as deranged as Gato should be doxed, with others more weary and concerned, scared of the direction this drama is going. Welcome to the internet versus Ethan Klein and Gato. It starts when Yi tweets out this clip with the caption, "Ethan hints he has more lawsuits coming."
Just remember why I'm doing this. And I don't get sidetracked, but you know what I mean? I'm focused and I'm coming. And I made some promises early on, and I'm going to fulfill them all. You know, there's an order of operation. We're going down the line. If you thought I was joking, I hope those 3 copyright lawsuits put that thought to rest, because every one of you motherfuckers that I said I'm coming for, that I hold responsible, guess what? It's only a matter of time. Don't worry. I'll get to you before the statute of limitation ends. Remember how confident Denims was? Oh, really? You're gonna sue me? Where's the lawsuit? I'm waiting. She does like this. Well, wait's over. So keep waiting. Enjoy the last moments of peace you have out there to the, I'm gonna say it. Noah Sampson, I didn't forget about you, scumbag. Daddy's watching.
Then on an unrelated thread about Willie Mac show from a few weeks ago, Dan replies to Gato by saying, "Well, I guess turnabout is fair play. Let me know if you still want those interior pics still. Happy to DM them to you." And Gato says, "Sounds like you're threatening to send me your most recent colonoscopy results." And Dan replies, "Nah, I was gonna send you pics of the interior of where you're at instead as a gotcha. Bright's yellow basement is certainly a choice. So still want those photos? You are like the most famous on Twitter, bro. I'm honored to be in your sights. Also, accept my Steam invite. I play Rust and anti-Semitism is practically baked into the game, so you're good to go. We can make a 2x2 together." He then replies to his post with this video in the caption, "Channeling my inner Mike from PA just for you. Fuck."
Hey, I found you. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Why'd you run away? I gave you the attention you want. It seems like you're disabled. Anger has a function. Rage serves a function.
He then continues saying, "Shalom, by the way," and it's a tweet of Gato saying, "When I hear the word shalom, maybe you don't mean to be saying you want to destroy American civil liberties on behalf of a foreign nation, but that's just what I hear." And Gato replies, "Feel free to forward your concerns to the Trump administration as well as any other blood-slurping Zionists who have used shalom in this manner." And attaches a post from the White House that says, "Shalom Mahmoud. ICE proudly apprehended and detained Mahmoud Khalil, a radical foreign pro-Hamas student on the campus of Columbia University. This is the first arrest of many to come," from DJT, and then another post from Enav with this clip.
"Oh well, look what happened on Passover. Mahmoud Khalil is going to pass over to Syria. Shalom Mahmoud and bon voyage." Apparently it's not working so well. Supporting terror, murder and rape, calling to eradicate Western civilization, then trying to use free speech. Yeah, the West is yuck. Even your lawyers could not get you out. I mean, you're going against the West and then use lawyers to protect yourself.
And Dan replies, "I think I'll just go over your stuff live as I said in my email. You have some amazing tweets, I'll give you that. Some of these are definitely bangers. We gonna make some bangers, bro. Get fucking hyped, homie. You can become as famous as you've always wanted." Attaching an image of tweetmedia.zip, tweets Gato Reina Carcosa, and then an image of Gato posting global Jewish population estimates from 1880 to 1939. And then Dan replies, "In case I am speaking cryptically, I am going to introduce you to the world as the insane neo-Nazi that you are. How fucking funny is it you are nearly 40 and still in mommy's basement? Can't make this shit up. And to think, this all started with you threatening me." Wild Pitch Offense also posts this whole interaction between Dan and Kween on the H3 Production subreddit with the title, "Hater of the Century Dan Saltman has found out the identity of the yellow cat." And Snoop Party replies, should be exposed. Losers like this guy will rightfully mock ICE for being masked cowards, while they themselves will hide behind a Twitter account. Fuck him. And Dan himself then replies, I just wanted to add this here at the top that this person was proudly doing his best at doxing me in the very same thread. This was not an out of the blue response. He basically did a post showing a building and its address in response to one of my posts saying, any of my followers in Miami, I want some photos of the inside of this unit. This is why I got fed up with this Nazi continuing to harass, dox, and attack people and their families. He's going to be held to account for what he has done publicly in the best way possible, financially. Asmongold also reacts to this whole interaction when he tweets out this clip. Asmon offers to help out Ethan and Gato Fumador and co. Also says they made Ethan do it.
Disabled.
Bro, this shit is so good. I'm sorry, this edit is so good. If you're stupid enough to fall for gotcha games deserving of being taken advantage of, are people stupid enough to get Ethanized? Deserving of Klein's calamity. I love this. And yeah, these guys, those are the guys, yeah, they got Ethanized. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen. And Ethanized. I'll tell you this, right, is that this person really had a lot of shit to talk about me too. So like, if Ethan needs a tag team on this, just hit me up, bro. Like, just hit me up. People like this love to talk shit. They love to talk, bro. Like, and I like to, I love to listen. What can I say? And I see this happen, and they got declined. Yeah, I guess so. Klein obscure lawsuit. 33. I guess that's what it is, right? 2v1 in court. Yeah, bro. We're gonna put these people back. We're gonna ruin this person's whole life, bro. Like, that's it. And the thing is that these people, you gotta understand that these people are the worst, man. They are the worst. And I'm so glad that now, like, see, this is the thing, is that I hope that these people know that they created this. Ethan didn't want to do this. All he wanted to do was make videos, but they had to go and call him a Nazi because he said that it wasn't cool to kill Israelis. That was all it took, bro. That's all it took. They had no idea. They made him do this. All he had to do, like as Garrosh said, you made me what I am. They can dish it, they can't take it.
Then over on LeftoversH3, a difficult chicken posts Nicholas Deorio's reaction to this interaction with the title, Nicholas Deorio goes over Dan vs Gato and comments on the H3 sub, attaching this clip.
My first thought was, holy fuck, I dodged a bullet by not working with Dan. Fucking Dan Saltman, Dan can't tweet, Dan can't stream, whatever his fucking name is that he goes by these days. I looked at this and I went, I'm glad I didn't work with Dan Saltman. But ultimately, it's a little bit more gray. So obviously, the threat of doxing is now being thrown up here, and my segment on this was initially going to be fuck Dan, and now it's more of just like, it's kind of scary where this drama is headed, and I don't really like it. These are two people. This is the anti-Twitch guy who's currently supporting Ethan Klein because it furthers his goals. This is a crazy Hassan Piker dick sucker who's on a power trip on Twitter,
goat.
right?
Thank you for the $5.
That's a good way to explain it. Dan is just saying like, hey, you want to come with me? That's fine. I'll dox the fuck out of you, which obviously I think is a crazy escalation until I find out this Gato guy fucking tried to dox Dan in the middle of July, early July 1st. Dude, I didn't know about this. Dude, like, okay. So it's like counter doxing now. Dude, fuck this shit, dude. This is getting like insane. I put URR here so you know that I block this out. They're doing the Destiny thing where you go lower to your enemies. Yeah, this is why I don't want to work with these people. Dude, look, I get it. I get this. On a fucking personal level, I get this. But do you know how like psychotic it is to have this kind of fight between these two idiots publicly? It's just normalizing like doxing and counter doxing in the space. It just sucks for what he's been publicly the best way possible financially. So like Dan put this like explanation here. I think that people are getting hyper violent recently, and it started around the time of the fucking CEO shooting when everybody was like defending the guy who shot the CEO. And now it's literally just like we can kill our enemies or dox them and harass them and do shit to them in real life if we can justify it. And a lot of people are justifying more outrageous acts now. I'll even say the response to this on r/H3H3 kind of scares me too. Should be exposed. Losers like this guy rightfully mock ICE for man. Who cares? Oh wow, he doesn't share the same opinion as you. Let's put him in danger. This is some like Twitter accountability cringe shit where they find a kid who said the N-word and try to make him not go to college. This is so fucking stupid, dude. I'm sorry. Now I get Dan. This is obviously like, yeah, okay. You threw a stone. Now somebody's gonna fire a machine gun into your glass house. I get it. I don't want to play the moral card on everything, but I like to think we're better than those people, right? I like to think that we're like better than them and we don't have to go down and just start a doxing war with every person who attacks us. I like to think we're a little bit better than them. I'm not a fan of doxing, but Gato Fumador is a great example. It's like, dude, I'm not a fan of doxing, but you've already lost. You're not the affected party here. Shut the fuck up. Dan is crazy. We need to fight. We need crazy to fight anti-Semitism. What are you, the ADL? They don't even care why Dan did it. They're just justifying the act. Like, they knew as much as I knew when I was writing the not writing the segment, but making the segment. They have no additional context. They're just okay with it.
Then, of course, this led Gato to go private, and Ethan also posted about Gato on his Instagram story, screenshotting Gato Fumador, also known as Queen in Yellow, a post where they said, "The entire reason Ethan and Hila are rebooting this incredibly embarrassing skull false flag is they're hoping they can exploit the dead Israeli diplomats to say, see, we really are in danger. Seems somewhat coordinated." And Ethan responds, "Many of you have seen this Twitter user Gato Fumador because of his obsession with us and the depravity of his attacks. He is frequently retweeted by the likes of Hassan Piker and Taylor Lorenz as part of their defamation campaign. They will signal boost his more sane tweets to make sure everyone sees his depraved takes. They have RT'd or commented hundreds of times. Unfortunately, being an internet fall guy has its downside, specifically the most obvious of being held responsible. For the longest time, these attack dogs have operated with impunity, relying on their anonymity to protect them. They revel in their impunity, uttering things a public person never would, specifically persistent defamation of the worst and most brazen kind." And there's another post of Gato saying, "Ethan Klein's newest tattoo, the greatest thing a man can do for his children is to love their mother." Such a bizarrely transactional message, like something a guy gets in his last ditch to save his marriage before murdering his entire family. Ethan continues his story, "In today's age of rapidly improving technology, anonymity is nearly impossible to maintain, even for a throwaway Twitter account. For example, the operator behind this account is a 37-year-old single male who is currently unemployed and living with his parents, named DB. You don't need to know his name, he just needs to know that I do. This person is clearly down and out, and it's a shame that instead of improving his life, he's dedicated all his time and energy into snarking strangers on the internet. Now, as a result of his unforgivable attacks on my family, his outlook is even more bleak. He's facing down a lifetime of soul-crushing debt and litigation. He doesn't have a wage now, but if he does ever crawl out of his mother's yellow-walled basement, I will be garnishing every cent he earns for the rest of his life." And they attach another post from Gato where it starts with Mr. Goofs and Gaff saying, "The unblurred images literally have a Skulls Unlimited tag," and then Noah replies, "Really doesn't make it better at all. Skulls shouldn't be sent to a house with kids. Don't support him, but be reasonable. This is weird." And Gato replies, "Yes, it's terrible that Ethan did that to his own children. Maybe someone should consider contacting CPS." And Ethan continues his story, "There are a handful of attack dogs that operate similarly on Twitter for the benefit of Hassan Piker and Taylor Lorenz. They know who they are. I have the time and money to find each and every one of you. As you have reveled in your anonymity as a means to defame me and attack my family and children, I now revel in shining a light into the pathetic corner of the internet where you exist. I am coming for all of you. In the meantime, D, you'll be hearing more from me soon. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, Ethan Klein." And then it's another post from Gato saying, "What's up with Zionists like Ethan Klein constantly doing a false flags?" Showing another picture of the skull, and Quick replies, "It's so easy to be like to say I don't agree with this sort of harassment or involving his kids and still call him a Zionist piece of shit. Y'all need to touch grass if you're out researching if he faked that or not." And Gato says, "Okay, I do not agree with Ethan Klein harassing himself and his children for sympathy." Shamu also posts these Instagram stories about Ethan with the title, "Ethan Klein of H3 is vowing to dox and sue all of his A-logs on Twitter." I have no idea who is responding to who, but basically both sides are just all doxing the fuck out of each other now. Going after admins of H3 Facebook fan group for allegedly doxing some sort of info about Taylor Lorenz. H3 didn't post the Gato guy's name, but he has it, showing this bad empanada Twitter account saying, "This is the group and its 3 admins, with these pictures. You all have my blessing to contact their places of work." Swift Wisp quote tweets Shamu and says, "I don't know why the fuck he even remotely thinks this is a good idea." And Kween replies, "Nobody has checked him in over a year. Why would he expect anyone to start now?" Also, in response to Gato going private, H3 does screenshot a post on the H3 production subreddit, and he captions it, "D, remember not to erase anything. Spoilation would look very bad to a judge." And Willie Maxer replies to Yi tweeting this out by saying, "Ethan's lawyer is stacking bread." And replies, "Gato is such a retard. Get him the fuck out." Gato also allegedly made 2 posts while they were private, one responding to Ethan saying, "Why would I delete anything? Truth, it turns out, is a complete defense against defamation. Also, I'm thrilled that I get to be the reason you're forced to finally shutter your dim-witted wife's hideous pervert clothing brand." And another post where Gato says, "Oh yeah, as long as I'm privated, I might as well admit to being the person who started both our H3 Snark and our Leftovers H3. And I'm also a mod over at Fomois. By the way, Ethan, just in case you see this, if you wanted the Reddit content moderation team to give you the same special treatment you get over at YouTube, you probably should have held off on making all those unhinged death threats to Steve Huffman. Kaiser Kinney replies to Yeet posting these images with the caption, "He's baiting. Those are lies." And Ethan himself then responds to Gato claiming to be the mods by saying, "Looks like I've already got you in 3 fully drafted and filed lawsuits then." Gato then unprivates responding to Ethan Klein's original Instagram story, the long one that we read earlier, by saying, "Ethan Klein continues in his megalomaniacal campaign to use his wealth and influence to silence those who dare expose his endless lies and abuse. Most recently, Klein has decided to threaten me personally with a frivolous legal action as a pretense to dox me, in part hoping to shame me for having placed my career on hold to serve as my chronically ill father's round-the-clock dialysis caregiver. I am completely unashamed to have done this for my dad, grateful for the time spent together and opportunity to get to know him during the last years of his life, and whose passing just a few months ago has not been without its emotional, financial, and legal difficulties, as anyone who lost a parent likely knows. Unfortunately for Ethan Klein, I remain undeterred and unintimidated. Thank you to everyone who has reached out with messages of kindness and support. It's been truly overwhelming. I am resolved to continue exposing the Klein's repulsive behavior for the world to see, and fully intend to face down whatever challenges, legal or otherwise, this evil psycho wants to send my way." Stand Up ENG replies, "He says his father passed away a few months ago, when only a couple months ago he's calling Asmon a mom murderer. He had no empathy even while going through loss himself. Or he's just lying. No sympathy for the sea." Showing posts of Gato saying, "Mom murdering cockroach fan opinion discarded. This mom murdering cockroach should probably look up the definition of material support before running his rotted out stank mouth." And another post, "What kind of pee-addled freak just assumes wearing a bikini means a woman has been AR'd? Oh, a fan of the mom murdering cockroach man." And another post, "Alleged mom murdering a stinkbender Asmongold contemplates Elon Musk's offer to have him live stream on X, and he's already walking back past criticisms of Musk's fraudulent gaming cred. Looks like Elon may have finally found a way to buy the approval of gamers." And another post where Gato says, "Mom murdering stink terrorist hates America, news at 11. And Gato replies, "The extraordinary efforts I put into having as much time as possible with my dad is exactly why what Asmon did disgusts me so much. You dumb fucking bog ape." And Azaloth replies, "Asmongold never murdered his mom. You just don't know about the word empathy." Colton says, "Extraordinary efforts. I tweeted 50 times a day while my dad was dying, but thankfully with my extra Twitter engagement because I've been lying, I can take my dad out to McDonald's one last time before he hits the sheets." Someone Help Us All replies to Gato's post by saying, "Oh, your hobby of slander and hate is resulting in consequences? How terrible for you. So sorry." And Gato replies, "Go give cheese to your dogs, you shitty idiot." Translated from Portuguese. Russia replies to Gato by saying, "Cool story, bro. Fafo." Over on LeftoversH3, Friendly Ingenuity also posted the Gato post with a caption, "Gato responds to Ethan's doxing threats." And Dry Look replies, "Ethan is a master at inadvertently humanizing his haters. He may be so detached from reality that he has totally lost perspective. Much like iDubbbz, Anissa, and Caseytron, all Ethan manages to do is make his haters far more likable. Having a dying father you give care for is humanizing. I don't understand how Ethan doesn't get this. I guess he just gets off feeling like a villain and needs to get another villain hit every 6 to 12 hours, lest he go into withdrawal, i.e. actually having to consider how badly he's damaged his brand and reputation." Beautifully Mental replies, "What a fucking monster to make this dude post all of that on his Twitter account. We support you, Gato." Dog Poop Boop says, "Ethan is pure scum. Bigger creators need to call him out. They are slacking." And Sure You're Mad says, "Everyone is afraid to throw their hats in the ring thanks to the endless harassment and now litigation threats it brings. But now that it's spiraling past the Zionism, which also makes a lot of people scared to be political, we shall see if that changes." H3 also then responds to Gato's long post by saying, "Didn't you accuse Asmongold of killing his mom?" And Grape Tickler posts this on the H3 Production subreddit with the title, "Ethan calls out Gato hypocrisy." And Andrew Falk replies, "If that's true, it's even more sad that he spent all his time with his dying father gathering clips, screenshotting stories, and snarking online." And Positive Bill replies, "Also, like Ethan's dog died and he blamed him for it. Asmongold's mom died and he blamed him for it. This guy has had zero humanity towards others. Why should we expect it from his victims?" Lucille replies, "Why do these people always pull out the give me sympathy card and mention something unfortunate that has happened to them? Like that's supposed to change how we feel about them as a person and excuse them of their actions. I'm pretty sure Caseytron did the same thing when she got served." observed lol. Like, I'm sorry that happened to you, but it's completely irrelevant. And no consideration replies, they use chronically ill relatives as human shields, for real. Positive Build replies to OP by saying, come on bro, just let me harass you a little. My dad's sick bro, come on. Let me send a couple skulls to your house, come on, I'm just a little guy. How is it that all of these dudes immediately transform into the smallest beings possible the second they face the consequences of their actions? Gato also posts a skull emoji with this clip going after Asmongold again with the whole mom narrative.
This is an individual right here. Now, this person liked to make a bunch of posts about me, things about how I kill my mom. So Hassan retweeted somebody who said that I was a mom-murdering cockroach farmer.
Over on the R Asmongold subreddit, Agni Flame also posts Ethan Klein's story, bringing up that Gato accused Asmon of killing his mom, and captions it, Ethan calls out a hater trying to farm sympathy for his dead father after making horrible tweets about Asmon's mom, and warning appropriate replies, this Gato guy, 37 years old and unemployed, seems to be a pattern with the worst of the worst on Twitter. Most working people don't have the time or inclination to spend hours on Twitter talking shit. The psychology of it must be some weird parasocial thing where they need everyone else to live to a certain level that they themselves fail at miserably. And Lycanthrope replies, if someone legit thinks Asmon and Ethan Klein are real threats that need to be dealt with, they really must not have much going on with their lives. You'd think they were kidnapping and torturing people's pets the way they talk about them, but at least for Ethan, he just thinks Israel is allowed to be a country. The horror. Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives Kiko, Salsad, and Coldest Bandito. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you all in the next episode.